everyone, welcome on board to Patriots Point, the USS Yorktown. We're going to head into our education center. I hope you're ready to learn because we are about to have some fun. Let's go. Welcome back to our learning lab here at Patriots Point. We're going to continue our discussion of 5th grade science topics, and we're going to start with some force and motion, and even connect to the last thing, if you remember, that we talked about outside. So what do you think of when you think of a force, Catherine?
A force to me is something that pushes or pulls.
Okay, a force can make an object start moving, stop moving, and even change direction. So we have several natural forces that occur here and affect us on our planet. What's one of those that you think of?
I think of friction.
So what does friction do?
It slows things down.
Okay, great. It can even make things come to a stop, right? So when I think of friction, I think of riding a bicycle or a skateboard or even rollerblades. So let's do a quick demonstration. So grab those friction tubes.
Right?
All right, excellent. So what we have here is we have a representative of a rough, bumpy road and a representation of a smooth road, and we're actually going to race some cars down these roads. So I have mine right over here.
All right.
All right, we're going to make sure we hold them at exactly the same angle and height so that we don't influence these results at all. All right, who do you think is going to win? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Oh wow, so Catherine's on the smooth road won, and mine on the bumpy rough road, well, it was slower because of that friction, right?
Right.
Excellent. So we're going to go ahead and put these to the side. Grab this card here. Y'all, we are going to connect this to a discussion on tides, because there's this other force that acts on our planet. Influences us every day, every second of our day. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Gravity.
Gravity pulls things towards Earth. All right, that's what's holding us here right now. And not only do we experience it every second of our lives, every day, but when you live in a coastal zone, you see this impact also in the change in water levels, what we commonly call a tides. So if you stick with us, we're going to graph the tides now. Welcome back. So here we are in front of our graph. We're going to graph today's tides. So how might tides have anything to do with force and motion? Well, tides are caused by gravity, the gravitational pull in between the moon, the earth, and even the sun. So I love to graph. I know you like to graph too.
I do.
Why are graphs so good?
Graphs are a great way to organize numbers in a visual, so you can see trends and patterns. They're great.
So it's a picture of numbers. It's a lot easier to look at a picture of numbers to answer real life questions than to just look at a list sometimes. So that's what we're going to do here today. So let's take a look and let's find our x-axis. Where might our x-axis be?
Right here.
Right here along the bottom. And what kind of information does it appear to be displayed on our x-axis? We have, looks like hours, right? The hours in a day. Now we have, where's our y-axis, Catherine?
Right here.
Right along the side going up and down. And the information we have on our y-axis is water depth in feet. So if you'll notice, our x-axis runs from 12 midnight to 12 midnight. And our y-axis runs from -1 all the way up to 6 feet. So we're going to graph some ordered pairs now. Catherine, are you ready? I'm sure ready.
I'm ready.
So our first number, our first ordered pair, if you will, is 1 a.m.
Okay.
and 5 feet.
1 a.m.
So you went over to 1 and then up to 5. Excellent. And she's even writing the ordered pair. That can really help when you're making a line graph. So our next ordered pair is 7 a.m. or 7 in the morning, right around breakfast time, and 0 feet.
Oh.
Great. we're going to move into our next ordered pair. That's going to be 1:30 in the afternoon, a little bit after lunchtime, and 5.5 feet. So, oh. And well, actually that looks like 4.5, which is just fine. We're gonna move right up here to about 5.5. And actually, that's excellent. It's always good to double check yourself, especially when you're working with a team. So we're just gonna erase that number right there. Okay, perfect. And we'll move on to the last one, 8 at night and 1 feet. So that's all the way over here. I'll help you with that.
Thanks.
8 at night and 1 foot. I like how you wrote those ordered pairs. That was a good idea.
Helps me organize.
So let's just connect these points so we can make our line graph. So I'll start on this end. So you know what I can tell from this picture? I can tell several things.
Okay.
One, in a 24-hour period, how many total different tides do we have in a day?
4.
We have 4. That's really easy to tell. Second of all, how many times during a 24-hour period do we have high water level or a high tide?
It's like 2 high tides.
2 high tides. And how many times during the day do we have low tides?
2 low tides.
2 low tides. So you can get a lot of information from a simple graph like this. In fact, you can even tell how many hours roughly are in between maybe 2 high tides. And it looks like about 12 hours, 1 in the middle of the night and around 1 in the afternoon. You could even tell how many hours are in between a high and a low. We have about, 7 in the morning here and 1 at night, 6 hours. Great, so there's so much information that you can get from a graph.